Maul or Nothing.
Hello and welcome to this very special episode of Maul or Nothing with Ryan, Max and Scott CEO. Boom, boom! If you haven't noticed, we are back in our favourite surroundings of the rather plush and most luxurious hotel in London, potentially the world, in the shape of the Mandarin Oriental in Knightsbridge. And talking of luxury and good taste, this week's episode is sponsored by Paul Roger, the family-owned champagne brand celebrating its 175th year. Also happens to be the favourite little tipple of none other than Sir Winston Churchill. It was also served at, I don't know why I pointed to you, but served at Prince William and Kate Middleton's wedding as well, and is clearly the favourite brand of Maul or Nothing. So, Mandarin Oriental and Paul Roger and Scott CEO. Pretty good, eh, guys?
You're a champagne drinker, Scotty?
Oh, I guess I am now.
Yeah! Let's open this one up, boys. I don't open champagne much. Only the full time I've had children. Jesus! Don't worry, we haven't broken anything, Mandarin Oriental. That was good. I've got a couple of glasses of it.
Seriously, that is not put on, like, why?
Oh, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. In this day pour it, isn't it, Max?
I think so.
This is what Max used to drink at the end of the year in the dorms.
Do you reckon? It wasn't quite so Harry Potter, but yeah, I'll say champagne was the go-to.
You go to a posh school, Scotty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just you, right?
No, I went to
I
a
was on
few
a
posh schools.
scholarship though, I didn't pay for it.
Not out. Look at him. You can tell he's been in the Barbies
He's
camp.
on the
As soon as they give him that beer order, not now.
Yeah.
Straight off the bat.
Mate,
Right.
Exeter will do that to you, mate.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
so right.
Cruel.
First things first, I assume we won't get any insight on the Exeter initiation.
How'd you go on that?
Oh, you know, I was a willing participant, we'll say. But,
Who was
yeah.
unwilling?
Maximus.
There's a couple guys who probably let
Not
fear get the most of them, I think. So I think it's one of those things in life you just got to face it head on, get it done, and then get ready for next year because you'll be the guy getting everyone else. So that's what I'm looking forward to most this preseason.
Just the hazing.
Yeah.
Do brumbies have an initiation?
Nah, to be honest, like it's a big one of probably the biggest differences between back home and here. I think like their idea of it is just like meeting at a pub and like just getting on it blind drunk until the early hours of the morning. Whereas like Exeter's been pretty cool part of that. Like we do a lot of socials. Like I've got like costume, like my missus has like 2 IKEA bags full of all my costumes and I've only been there for 2 seasons, so you know what I mean. But no, I think it's been a cool part of being over here. The social aspect has been pretty fun.
But speaking of social, your first taste of Barbarians, nightlife. I know there is some rugby at some point throughout the week, but talk us through how the first night was. You look quite good. You look fresh. Does he look fresh?
I'm surprisingly fresh, yeah.
Oh, you know, I'm a seasoned veteran, you know. Done a lot of these, you know.
Until you chunder enough to
Yeah,
get off the
exactly. We'll cut that bit out. No, but it's you know, Barbarians is pretty loose. Like there's not a lot of organisation, and you know we're all kind of used to schedules, so we're kind of all sitting in our rooms waiting for stuff. And then I think it hit like 5 p.m. and they sent out the itinerary and they're like, all right, boys, team meeting at 6, drinks at like 6:30, and we were just like, oh, okay. So we were just kind of like, oh, you just got to kind of just like chill out a bit more than you used to. I think everyone's kind of amped up and ready on the first day, but they kind of try to ease you into it. So yeah, we had a bit of teppanyaki, went to this this pub, and we were just kind of there, and it was there for a while, just while we were sort of waiting for stuff to open. A lot of different names got floated out there, like all bar one. I'd heard a place called Platinum. Boys were talking about a place called Platinum Lace.
Oh no, never been,
but that got thrown out there. Yeah. And then we ended up at this Cirque du Soleil place or something like that. And that was an experience, mate.
Oh, Big Daddy loves that place, doesn't he?
Oh, mate.
Carl.
Big Daddy?
Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Yeah. Big Daddy sinks, yeah.
He's
in his
hitting it hard,
Was he hitting
straight off the
He was
bat.
in his
Hitting the power
element,
bars
mate.
with the
Yeah,
watches.
oh, mate. He was in there. He was leading the charge, I'll tell you that much, mate. Yeah, so that cut, like whoever made it there was kind of like, it kind of showed me who was going to kick on. But it was a bit tough because like a couple of the boys had just flown in from Japan, New Zealand and that, so a couple of them were jet lagged. So I guess tonight's going to be the real they said,
real leveler.
yeah, we've got like a message, and they're just
boys
like,
from the
tonight's gonna be fun, boys, from the management. And we're like, oh, okay, so tonight's the night then.
I love it. And everybody who got it so wrong last night, were like, I thought last night was.
Yeah, I know.
And so you mentioned like some of the boys still aren't here. Some of the Frenchies, Galfiku,
Yeah.
and was it
Cameron
Rocky?
Rocky,
Cameron
yeah.
Rocky are flying in today, so they started joining. It is mental though how everyone just sort of comes together in dribs and drabs. I don't know if you know about the Fijian situation, but they pretty much get here on Thursday.
Yeah, it's actually nuts. To be fair, I'm surprised V turned up on time. You know, he was there early, but I think Harry Sachs got him on the train early enough there. So
How is it?
And how's
that?
Oh, he's struggling.
Mate, I'm in a bad
Poor
way.
fella.
I was on that weekend with him. Stu Townsend,
Yeah,
Hendo,
yeah.
Jack Inard. Great
Oh.
counsel themselves.
That's big
Your
going from a
teammates.
stag do into
Oh
bars.
no,
Yeah.
I was looking at him when we were in the line at the queue at Malaga. I was just like, bro, you've got this for another week.
Yeah.
I
he
can't
was-
think of anything worse.
Is he in a world of pain?
Yeah, he is now. I think today's really hit him hard. Like he was drinking all right last night. He was going fine, but I think like we had the training session, bit of heat, the bus trip, and he's just I think we won't see him for like a 5-hour period.
Yeah,
and then he'll come alive tonight at some point probably.
I'm keen to keep like with the Bible stick on that. So Robbie Deans is the head coach, isn't he? But
Yeah.
like what I always found weird when I nearly did it was you obviously with your club you've got your roommate, with your country you know the boys you got.
Yeah.
It's almost like going to a new club because you don't know the roommate you're getting.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a new roommate and the beds are pretty much put together.
Yeah, it was. So Craig Miller, he's a loose head, plays for Panasonic Wild Knights and played for Japan. And he hadn't arrived yet. And when I got there, I don't know if you guys had ever played in against the Sharks in Durban, but there's a hotel in Umschlangen and they're like single beds right next to each other. And I got in the room and I was like, no way, mate. There's no chance I'm lying there. Like,
Team
the
bonding,
twins.
mate.
yeah,
Just right next to each
Danny
other.
Care and Ben Young's room with each other. They're probably cuddling each other in their room. So I was just like, nah. So I've gone in there, as you do with the rooms, done a bit of manoeuvring, managed to get the bedside table in between. But it is a cool part. Like, I think you get so used to, like at Brumbies, I was just a room with the same people all the time.
Yeah.
At Chiefs, we get our own room. So it's just like, it's actually been a cool part of that, having a roommate again.
Who's been your best roommate so far?
Over my
Of all
career.
time.
Yeah.
Alan Alalatua.
Yeah, I knew I was going to say that.
Yeah, we
your
roomed
bird.
pretty much for like 8 years straight, almost. Yeah, at Brumbies and Wallabies. So, Alan have to be up there.
You're a married couple, basically. When you
More or less, yeah.
worst roommate.
Worst roommate. So, Pone Fatmasili, he's probably the worst snorer I've ever, like, and I can
Says the
deal.
front rower.
Yeah, I can deal with snoring because obviously I've got a broken nose and I snore. But
I dabble.
this bloke, he used to wear like a machine to help
Like
his.
a baby.
Eddie Hall.
Nah, mate, it was honestly like I can sleep through like
That's
almost
for
all
like
snoring.
sleep apnea.
No,
isn't it?
Tamafuna has one as well. I'm pretty sure. I've heard
Yeah.
stories.
Oh, and Tatafu Polota now. Those two
That's a
are
big
top two.
goose as well. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Stuart Huddle could have one of those as well. That and gout. There was always something. Yeah,
Gout's a given,
snoring
mate.
and gout.
That's a given, mate. Well, most
Half
of
of
them
the
is,
course,
yeah.
we went, you haven't got one of those machines without gout.
Yeah.
Who was the lot of the lads though? The biggest one on the first night of the Barbarians. So you're saying Sinks was leading the charge. Anybody else putting their name up?
Lenny, Ben Youngs, he went hard early and then just dropped a massive smoke bomb
Ah.
at some point. But
respect
DC was there. DC was in and around. Dave Ribbons is obviously a big lad, you know what I mean? And South Africans, you know, they're all guzzlers. So he's going to be there at the end of the night, pretty much most nights. So they're probably the front runners, but it's hard to say. We've only had one night.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so
You know.
jealous.
I think by Wednesday I'll know who the real, you know.
When will you taper down?
tourists.
When have you had a chat with a few of the boys? Like when will you taper down? Because
Yeah.
I mean, ours got cancelled, but I went every night.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you for getting cancelled. This could have
Yeah.
been a bad thing.
I think it's unanimous that Friday's probably, I think everyone's definitely not Friday, but I think the toss up is Thursday. I think some boys will be like, nah, but then we're trying to organise golf and this, and then you get back and you'll be like, well,
You were like knocking on everyone's James O'Connor's door and everything, being like, "Oh, we got to go out."
Yeah, that was after it all got cancelled though. The boys were trying to get home, but yeah, I made everyone feel bad. I did the old so-and-so's down the room. Rob Carney's down in the room, last ever game.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And I was in Rab's room, and I was like, mate, he's down there, like, gutted that none of the boys are going out.
Yeah.
Like, out of order. And he's like, oh, fuck, okay, all good.
Yeah.
I come back down to Rob Carney. I'm like, mate, Rabs is up there. He's gutted. He's like, wants to celebrate. He doesn't want to go out. And he's like, oh, fine. We got to the hallway, and they're like, right, ready to go. Like, and everyone's like, what's going on here? And I'm like, you fuckers.
Yeah.
It was good, though. The old Dwayne fucking Kitsy. Yeah, the Saffers are dangerous, mate.
Mate, they
Stay
are,
away
mate.
from them.
Every team I've been a part of, they are, mate. So,
You had the twins, didn't you?
yeah, I had the twins.
The twins are a real nightmare.
Jean-Pierre and Ruan Smith.
Oh, Ruan Smith and JP, Smith, they're so funny.
They're
really?
funny as,
They're
mate.
so
Bad people.
No, they're just a bit wild. They just
Yeah.
love a brandy and coke and gets a bit strange. I went and watched the Super Rugby final with them at Hamilton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Man, it was a funny night.
You know how boy twins are, mate.
Yeah,
They just fight everyone.
and then just they're like big old oaks.
So they're not fighting each other?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking me something crap.
Yeah.
No, they're funny though. They
Good
take
boys.
the piss out of everything on social media. They actually
Yeah,
crack
yeah.
up.
They got have you ever seen Willem Albert's skit where he like wraps his face in tape and becomes
Yeah.
like a big Dutchman and goes weird?
He's like a new persona that he does.
Yeah, he
like,
has this weird
alter ego.
Yeah, he like does this alter ego where he like dances.
Yeah.
It's very funny. He like wraps his face in strapping, so he's got like this kind of disfigured
And wears a
moustache.
mouth guard
Yeah, and he's just full Dutchy, crazy African.
in the gym, like,
He's like
walking
dancing.
around. Yeah,
Mate,
actually
it's
pretty
very
funny.
Have you
strange.
seen this?
Mate, those are the boys that documented the twins. It's very good.
Oh, okay.
Worth a
Well,
watch.
yeah, have a look.
Right, as much as we're looking at other people's holiday photos right now, let's chat about Scott and your career so far. Have you enjoyed your time at Exeter?
Yeah, loving it down in Devon. I signed on for another 2 years, so no, it's been great down there. I think it's been a breath of fresh air for me. Obviously, I spent 11 seasons at the Brumbies, and I was just looking for something new. But one of the things that probably surprised me the most was just how much they get around rugby here on this side of the world. Like, I think it's like you got the English banter in the crowds, and then you got the French atmosphere. Like, it's just quite unique, and I just think the model is just great here. Like, you got 10 to 25,000 at most stadiums, and then you play your big games at Twickenham. I just think it's smart. Like, I think Australia and New Zealand could take a leaf out of English and French, and UK and French rugby's books, and I think like that's the way forward from them there. But Sandy Park are lovely. Like, people there are lovely. They love their team down there, and it's been nice for me to sort of go around town and everyone getting around you.
That's the big thing though, down in Devon, you haven't got the NRL and things like that to compete
Yeah.
with. So
Well, let's
everyone's
talk
running
about that, Scott. Obviously, we caught up a few months back with Rob Leota, Taniela Tupou, and Angus Bell as well. But actually, obviously, for Rob and Nella, they it's been a pretty sad moment with the folding of their club, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is quite sad, with the Rebels and everything. As you would know, Max and that. I mean, it's never nice to see that kind of stuff, but it's having been over here and seeing it, I kind of you're prepared for that sort of thing, and that, you know what I mean. It doesn't come as a shock, but it is still hard to take, because there's a lot of those boys that you played with, that now have to sort of look for an opportunity elsewhere, or hopefully chase an opportunity overseas. And unfortunately for them, it's not like the landscape is right open for them overseas as well, so they still have to deal with what's coming. But I think like a lot of that comes down to like management and stuff. Like, people talk about no atmosphere and things like that. They want people at games and but they're playing at like a Allianz, right?
Yeah, that's it. You're bang on with like big stadiums.
Yeah.
They're smaller stadiums, and I get that because Glasgow Warriors, it's like 10,000. So actually, when you pack that every week, there's a bit of an atmosphere. Yeah, when you play in big stadiums, it's not got the same feel, is it?
Well, even the URC semi-final with Leinster and the Bulls, and there were like 30,000 people, but because they're closing off,
Exactly.
It feels somehow empty. Yet, Tottenham Park looked, like it was heaving.
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, it sounds simple though, right? Isn't it? Let's just put it in slightly smaller stadiums and make it a bit more of a kind of exciting experience.
Mate, there's obviously like a lot more at the core of it all. There's obviously things above my pay grade, over there. So But you know, hopefully with the Lions, you know, tour coming up, World Cup in
Get
4
some
years'
eyeballs
time,
on it.
it can get a bit of hype. You know, hopefully Joe Schmidt can turn things around and
Schmitty.
in a short amount of time, and you know, the boys buy in, because I think, like, for World Rugby, you know, you want, you know, teams playing well, and you want people, the country that's hosting playing well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it'd be a pretty sad World Cup if Australia don't get through the.
Crazy, wouldn't
you know, like, it's a bit kind of lost, that sort of thing. So I think they'll be all right. Like, you know,
Reckon they got those players, at the moment.
yeah.
Well, you like you were saying earlier though, the amount of players in there you haven't heard of before.
Yeah, like
There's a whole new
Yeah.
group of players coming through for Aussie.
Yeah, there is. So I mean, like, in that Rebels thing would just be completely different to the one that you.
Yeah, mate, unbelievable. There's
Yeah.
not a single person.
I know.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to Joe? Has Joe spoken to you at all? Have there been any conversations?
Nah. As far as I'm concerned, I think I'm an ex-Wallaby now. So.
Hey, we can help you on that.
Yeah. We'll
No.
rehash the introduction of your current Wallaby, Scotty CO.
I thought it's tough because obviously our rule is you have to be playing there to get picked, and I think it's like, sorry, they get 5 per tournament international, like in Reg 9 picks. So it's more like a necessity type of thing.
Fuck, I didn't realise the Aussies had the same rule.
Yeah, we've had that rule for. Yeah, they brought in that Giddo rule.
They call it
where you could
the
play
Giddo law.
60.
Oh yeah, that's
But
why.
that was only because he wanted Gitz
needed that.
and Drew and them to come back for the World Cup. And no, he never really used it after that.
Did you ever talk to Renz? When Renz was involved for the
Yeah.
World Cup stuff?
Yeah, I was pretty much like, I was going to be there or thereabouts, I'm pretty sure, with Renz. And then when Eddie came on board, I was like, oh yeah, there's no chance now.
Mate, Ren's a good
Yeah.
man. Good man.
Nah,
Yeah,
Renz, I've got a lot of time for him. I was pretty disappointed in Rugby Australia not letting him finish out his term. I think he was building really well.
Yes.
They had a really good autumn internationals period heading into that. So it came as a bit of a shock to me, I'll be honest. So I think, you know, he would have done a lot better. Eddie, the saviour.
Yeah, I mean, the proof was in the pudding, right? You judge me on the World. We could judge on the World Cup, and it was an absolute
Mate,
disaster,
it was
right?
a shocker, mate.
Have you spoken to any of the guys who lived through it? What
Yeah.
they felt?
Look, I'm obviously pretty close with James Slipper with Slips, so I had a chat to him, and he was just like, mate, look, you're gonna get up because it's a World Cup. Do you know what I mean? But I think, like, for an experienced guy like him who's been to 4 World Cups, he knows the value of having experienced guys there. And whether Quaid was going to play or not, by having him back up Carter Gordon was going to be important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, you got to have Michael Hooper in the squad, mate. You know what I mean?
Have to.
Whether you're going to play the bloke or not, he needs to be in and around the squad. And, like, it was only fair that he finished at the World Cup, I think, personally. So I know what Eddie was doing, mate. At the end of the day, he's like, you know, we bombed out like we did. It was a young squad, no expectations. They go through, he's the Messiah, right? You know, so he's just covering himself because he knew he was going to leave after too. So
Did he speak to you at all? Did you have some chats or nothing? He didn't get a.
nah, mate. As soon as he went in there, I was just like, all right, where am I going for my holidays after? I was already heading home, but nah, it's hard to sort of, like, in a short amount of time, you're not really going to get looked at unless you're there. Do you know what I mean? Or unless you're like Marika Korobetti, right? He's the man, right? You know what I mean? You definitely get in that.
The
guy.
concrete man. The
Yeah.
fucking concrete.
You know
Yeah,
what
but you say that, but you've got 74 caps for Australia.
Yeah.
Kind of, that's to be discarded out of hand. That's kind of mad, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just what he wanted to do with it. I mean, Angus Bell was killing it at that time, and Slips was still, trucking along really well there. So it's like, did he really want to use it, or he could bring in some guys like Samuel Karevi and other guys? So I don't know. I probably fell down a little bit down the picking order if Quaid and Michael Hooper didn't get in. So I was probably a little bit down on the picks there.
Look at it, just like, oh, fuck.
Was KB fit then as well?
Nah, he had his whole sort of trial going on at the moment, and he couldn't. He wasn't available at that time too. So yeah.
Whilst we're talking about your Australia career, and we'll keep talking about it because still plenty to give, but I think you owe Wilson £25,000, I believe, from 2015. Did you play in the 2015 Massive win for Australia.
Oh, yeah.
Robbery.
Quarter final where you robbed us.
I know. I
Literally from my
dislocated
pocket, like from my children's
Yeah.
mouths.
You stole from my kids, Scott.
Yeah.
The kids didn't eat for a few weeks after that.
Yeah, bread and butter, for a couple
Well.
of months, was it?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah, you were in that. You were in 2015.
I dislocated my my elbow actually in that game. Yeah.
How did you manage that?
So
Karma.
no,
It's not easy. Nothing had happened. And this
I was on the. By the way, I wasn't
in
even
the
involved.
Scrum. I kind of was trying to go forward, and then WP Nels just yacked it, and then I went under, but I held on. I didn't let go, and I've just gone.
And it's just happened.
Just went out. I went there, and I went to the doc. Doc came on, and he's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I don't know if it's my shoulder or my arm, but something's wrong." I heard a pop, and then he goes like this, and then he goes bang, and then just popped back in, and then
good.
I walked off.
I walked off,
And then honestly, I was sitting there with the sling, going, "Oh, guess that's it, boys." Like, I was like, "Oh," I had the hoodie on, and I was like, "Here we go." Like, yeah, and then we had a little Diego Maradona moment there, hand of God. And we managed to get through. So,
what was the vibe in camp? Because obviously we've actually heard from Ryan many a time and some of his teammates when Skux, when Shaw Maitland was taking us through the whole thing, and that moment was it Bennett
That was
scoring?
that was in the match.
Yeah, and it was like we're gonna do this, and then obviously a bit of controversy around the finish and the end and the penalty.
And the ref sprinting off.
Yeah, and the ref sprinting off for the first time under a hail of abuse. But from the Australian perspective, what was it like? How did you guys kind of see it?
It's a lot of relief, I guess, to be honest. Like, you do know that you have dodged the bullet. I remember talking to Slips after the game. He was pretty devastated because he threw the ball at the back for the intercept try. And he's the one that threw the absolute shocker. Yeah. And then you've gone through, picked it up and gone ahead from that. And so I remember him sitting next to me, and I've got the sling on, and we're looking at each other, and we're like...
Yeah, it's literally... like if there was a meme, it was like...
Yeah. I don't think we said anything, but we just looked at each other. Like,
We knew.
Back in the bus, like...
So we were just like, oh man. To be fair, the Kiwis, New Zealand dodged a bullet in that semi too, because South Africa took it down to the wire in that game too. So fair play to them. Yeah.
As you were going through the rounds, just even though you were out, and this is such a bad question in a way, but do you get more money as you go through the rounds? So even though you were out, you're like, hey, we're now into the semis.
We did.
Oh, shizzle, we're into the final.
Only if we won, I think.
See, Scotland, it was tiered.
Was it?
If we won the quarters, genuinely, I think we all got like 25 grand more. And John Welsh, I think it was John Welsh, our proper done something, like he caught the ball or something on the offside position. Yeah. So we all just blamed him.
Oh, really?
And we were like, he was like, cheers Welsh, he's 25 grand down the pan. He's like, fuck off, boys. Even to this day, like, boys are like, 25 grand, mate, 25 grand.
Yeah. Nah, I think ours was different. I think it was like, we got 20 or 25 for making the final, and it would have been like 50 for winning or something like that. There's all the money's in AFL and NRL.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's just
Carter Gordon obviously going over there.
Yeah.
How do you reckon his chances are?
Oh yeah.
He'll be interesting. I think he'll probably take more of a 5'8" role, because 5'8" in league is a bit more of a running role. There. So I think at first he'll do that once he sort of finds his feet there. So he's a Queensland kid, so I think he'll probably relish being back up there. Yeah. But the Gold Coast, I don't know if you guys have been to the Gold Coast.
Surfers Paradise, yeah?
Yeah, Surfers is kind of like the tourist. That's like Surfers Paradise in the Gold Coast is like Bondi Beach in Sydney, right? I go there because it's iconic, but it's not
kind
the
of
best place.
Kind of tacky though.
Yeah.
You know.
There's way better places, but the temptation up there
is real,
mate. That's why the Titans never won anything, mate.
Oh, because everyone's just
they're always drinking up there. You know what I mean? At
On the
Burleigh
Booger
Pavilion, you know what I mean? Good weather, beaches everywhere.
What was the one? Was it peanut butter on balls or something? Where the bloke got his dog to live?
Oh yeah,
that did make the news.
No, it did. Joel Monaghan, he's Canberra Raiders.
You obviously Samoan heritage, eh?
Yeah.
But were you born and raised in Australia?
Yeah, born and raised in Sydney.
Was there? No, I know. But some of the boys like I've met that have gone over early. But was there ever an inkling to play for Samoa?
I think growing up, you always wanted to So my dad played for Manu Samoa, so like you always kind
The
of
World Cup though in 91, right?
Yeah.
He beat Wales. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they beat Wales. Yeah, yeah.
Welsh
so-
fan.
Sorry, it was massive at the time. It was like a big deal.
Welsh,
Western-
French, and Chinese.
Samoa was
Chinese.
like Wales bogey team at that time for the 90s, but yeah, I think like you want to emulate that, right? So like I was like, I want to play for Samoa, you know, blah blah blah, and then the hard thing was growing up was we didn't have a lot of Pacific Island like guys to connect with in the Wallabies. Like you had Todai Kefu and George Smith. George Smith's my idol. Like I played back row growing up, and I was like, this guy's the man.
Yeah.
And like Richie McCaw, unbelievable, but I will die saying George Smith is the best seven that ever played.
Yeah. And some of the stories of him going on the piss and backing
Oh,
up
mate.
and training
he's
makes it even better.
Yeah,
He's
It's like
unbelievable.
steps him
man.
up a level.
Sauna
Yeah.
and spin every morning.
Yeah,
Sauna and
nuts,
spin
mate.
every morning.
Nuts,
That was his
man.
go-to.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what we all want to be like.
Sort of spin then done.
Yeah.
No, honestly, he would do it every morning. Just go in there, he'd be on the elliptical on this thing, and you're looking at him like, oh, okay, so that's what I gotta do. Get pissed last night, and then just go there. It's that easy, but no, I think like part of me really wanted to play for Samoa. Funny, before I went to Brumbies, so I played the 2011 20s World Cup in Argentina, and the Waratahs weren't really keeping me on. They were just like, oh, you're going to do academy again for another 2 years, and I was just like, oh, I don't know if I can do that again. So I didn't really have anything. And when in the 90s, when you're born, you have to take your parents' citizenship, and they were Kiwi citizens. My old man played at Canterbury. He actually played with Dingo with Robbie Deans. Yeah, in Canterbury in the 80s. Yeah. So it's actually pretty crazy. So they were gonna sort of tee up. I was gonna go play for Canterbury in the NPC at the time, and then get a gig with the Crusaders. And then the Brumbies, like, luckily for us, they came to the table. But if Brumbies had never come to the table, I probably would have played in New Zealand the whole time. So like, I don't know how, like, you don't know how your career would have panned out from there.
Yeah.
But it would have been nuts. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, we're discussing just a little bit. You touch upon the Brumbies, and there was a good moment with the Lions coming up next year, but the previous time, and you were part of the first Aussie provincial side to beat the Lions, right?
Yeah, I think we were the first one since like the 60s or 70s or something like that. Yeah, so like a long time ago, mate. So, yeah. It's creating history. But I got in trouble from my parents because when we won, I was just dropping massive F-bombs the whole time. And they were just like, you probably had the record for the most F-bombs in the shortest amount of time on TV.
You brought shame on our family.
What on TV?
Well, because we won, I didn't expect us to win, and I'm just like, fuck, and I'm just screaming non-stop. And then the camera guy, the wanker, just follows me the whole time.
He's like, you brought great dishonor to the CO name.
And everyone loved it. They're just like, unreal. But my parents, were just like, you embarrassed us.
Who was the coach then? Who was the coach back then for Oz? Was it Checker?
No, it was Dingo.
Big
Robbie
Dingo.
Deans.
Oh, was it Robbie
Yeah,
Deans?
yeah.
Okay, so you got a pretty good bonds with him for the barbell stuff. So
Yeah.
was he the one that phoned you and said, mate, fucking coming over, mate?
Yeah.
You
So
get
pretty much like we hit him up, and then he had the Jap guys, and then Baba.
Because where's he coaching now, sorry?
Panasonic.
Right, so
that's
that's so a lot of those boys are playing, are they?
Yeah.
Panasonic boys.
Yeah, there's a couple of them playing, and a couple of Crusaders boys. But that Fergus Burke, he's at Crusaders. He just signed 3 years at Saracens, I think. He'll be playing 10 for us, I think. So
Yes, I did see a name, but I did see a 10 that I
he's
wasn't sure who it was.
Owen Farrell's replacement.
Owen
He's
Farrell.
EQP, so
Have you seen him play? Is he good?
he's got skills on him. Kid's got skills for sure.
What,
so.
even hung over today, he's got skills.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't really. He's got to prove himself tonight, I think.
Prove it out here before you
Yeah.
think you can prove it.
Man.
That is it. That's part of it. Like,
Yeah.
You know, if you don't go on the piss with the boys at barbars, if you don't lean into it,
Yeah.
you the respect.
Let's get Scott on that. Come on, he's beaten the Lions. Like, I think if we flip it on the other side, what was the experience like from the Aussie perspective? Because it's also kind of pinnacly, career wise for the Australians, but on the other side, really.
Yeah. It was pretty tough. So obviously, I went into the camp, and were you asking about when we lost the series as well?
No, when you beat. Let's start with beating the Lions
okay.
first, and how that feels as an Australian.
I was pretty young, to be honest. Like, I was only my second year of professional rugby, so like, you're riding a pretty big high. Do you know what I mean? Like in the British National Lines, a lot of guys that you look up to playing in that team. You know what I mean? So first of all, like to get to share the field with them was pretty special.
Who'd you come against?
I was up against Matt Stevens.
Oh, good bloke.
So their front row was there was a Scottish loosehead. He used to tape his head. No, he used to tape his head.
I'm trying to think. What year was this? Sorry,
2013.
No, it was Sutherland, wasn't it? Or was that too young? Too old?
2013.
Ryan
Grant.
Ryan Grant.
Ryan Grant.
So Ryan Grant, Rory Best was hooker, Matt Stevens, Johnny Gray.
Richie Gray.
Oh, sorry, Richie Gray, and I can't remember the other fella that was at lock.
Ian Evans, the Welsh boy.
Oh, that's it, the Welsh guy, yeah. And then Tipuric, Sean O'Brien, and Tarupe Falato.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah,
that's
and
a lot.
then 9 was Benny Youngs.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And Hoggy was 10. Remember they trialled him at 10 that game? And Colby melted him. Yeah, he ran straight at him.
Because he was the one that he was the one carrying around the little line everywhere.
Yeah.
Bro, how good was Colby?
Billy, oh mate, he's a
some
machine.
player, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Billy Talltrees was 12.
And where was the game? Sorry.
In Canberra.
In Canberra.
Brad Barrett was 13. Shane Williams on one wing and Christian Wade on the other wing, and Carney was 14.
Yeah, Rob Carney.
Yeah, but then their bench, they went Hibbard, Corbacero, and Cole. And we were just like,
memory on it.
I'm literally looking at exactly what they've done.
yeah. And then I can't remember. I think Lydiot was on the bench.
Lydia comes on.
Yeah, Murray.
And there was a winger that's just retired for Munster.
Bro, was that first year of new scrum rules?
Simon
Ziva.
Falcon
That's
Ziva.
right.
Yeah.
For Shane Williams with 10 minutes to go.
And
And Owen
Faz.
Faz.
Yeah.
Farrell
That's
came
right.
on.
Yeah, I've got this weird memory thing where I could just remember like that.
It's unreal. You
Yeah.
just name from like literally.
But every team has one. So
Yeah, they do. Because
years
I
ago.
can remember
Yeah.
what games I've played in, let alone who I've played against.
Oh,
No,
see,
I can like
some
remember the time of the game, like the players we played against, like weird.
11 years ago, but who they brought on the bench.
no,
Yeah.
10 minutes to go.
I know. First scrum, so we were scrummaging well the whole game, and then the first scrum, the bench came on and they battered us, and we were just like, oh, okay, we're always gonna have to hang on here. Like, I was 21, the
Young.
tight end was 22, Ruan was the tight end.
Oh, was he?
And then Saliva was 21, the hooker.
yeah,
And then they
that's
brought on Josh Manray, and we were just like, we just got to hold on. And then somehow one scrum where we were under the pump, that we were only up by 2, like pretty much if they got this penalty, they're going to kick, they're going ahead. We managed to get a tight end somehow. And then we just like worked our way all the way down the field. Like, and and that was the only reason. I honestly, this one scrum, if we didn't get that ball in that scrum, I honestly think we'd probably lose that game. So I was like, I'm not saying anything, but you know.
Was that cool?
It was all 3 of them. So
You won the game against you.
Against
you-
Coley.
I mean,
Because
you
you made
did you swap
history.
your jersey?
you guys are saying it. I'm just, I'm
Did
just
you swap-
agreeing with you guys.
Did you swap your jersey?
No, so he didn't swap his jersey with me.
Who?
Oh.
Grant.
Yeah, but he
Ryan
might have been
Because it was his only
Might be his
game.
only
It was his
game.
only
So
game.
I was like, fair enough. It is. But to be fair, they gave me one of their jerseys anyway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kick
Cool,
guy
it's
was just
got a
like,
few
just
as
keep your
Yeah,
jersey.
it's always tough, isn't it, the old jersey swap?
Because I was 1, I had to. But looking back now, because I didn't come off, and so whoever was 17, I should have just went and swapped with Corbacero. Yeah,
He's a good lad.
because he was going to play
and then
every
he
game anyway.
played every game
Yeah.
in the end. He wasn't meant to though, was he? He got brought in late. I remember he got someone got injured. He came in. He turns out he's in the series.
Was Jenkins?
And then he scores the try.
Had a huge game.
Geffen Jenkins?
Yeah, Geffen.
Pretty sure he got injured, and that's
Yeah.
why.
So good. So good.
I do remember that series.
Scott on all analysis
Are
from
you,
now on of any of his training.
but like Lions tour next year is going to be pretty awesome, mate. Australia for me, one of my favourite places I ever toured was
Yeah.
Scotland.
Oh,
Like,
it's
we
hideous.
speak about it. Summer tours coming up. We did a summer tour. It's like we literally like a summer holiday for
Yeah.
Go, but oh my Coogee Pav.
Oh.
My Coogee Pav.
We staying at Crown Plaza.
Yeah.
Oh, that place is dangerous.
Oh, in Melbourne.
No. In
No,
Coogee.
in
Oh, talking about
Coogee.
the Crown Casino.
And you can literally walk down the hill. There's
Yeah.
that first one just up the left.
Coogee Bay Hotel, man.
No, I
Yeah.
stayed
The beer
there.
garden.
I stayed there, and I got the worst bed bugs of all time. They refunded everything when I played for New South Wales.
Oh,
country.
really?
Bro, it was horrifying, man. I was like, mate, I got the boys to video it. I looked like I had an allergic reaction to the things.
Oh, wow.
Mate, it was mental.
Well, it's been refurbished there.
And did you read about them putting like fecal matter in the ice cream?
So this is an official IHG worker here right now. Just
I feel like you made that one up now.
No, it made the news. I'll send you the post. It was weird.
Can't wait to read it, man.
Have you boys scrummed against each other before we use it? Because I know you got to be somewhere. How was it? Much chat for him?
Hey?
Nah, he was alright.
I don't say anything.
Frosty was giving me so much.
Do you not do any?
Nah, Yendel was giving me a bit.
Yendel.
The pre-season game, you and Yendel smoked me. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yendel was banging me, and then I would just like get kinked out, and then Scotty would just come through and finish me up.
Wasn't really. It's just
game
Paints was
right.
getting through on the other side.
Yeah,
so.
big area.
I don't know what they're talking about.
I'm just sort of a
But
back
how big is
sandwich
it?
with Scott and Yendel.
All I do know is Scotty before said, "Fuck, what about the boys
it's
making you
horrible.
take your top off with Kitsy?" That was Max wanting to. Like,
No, that's not true. Kids,
no, joking.
no, tell me, Kitsy said that.
Yeah.
To be fair.
You look at Max. He's obviously been on a stag because he's getting anxiety now.
Right.
Yeah, that was Kitsy. But go on. To be fair,
to be fair, if I had Max's rig, mate, I'd probably take my shirt off too.
I wouldn't wear a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Good
wear a
times.
t-shirt.
The
Like,
worst thing is, like, people think that's what props should look like now. You know what I mean? I'll go do skin folds, and I'm like, mate, come on, mate.
The abuse he got after that.
So much abuse
so much.
of people.
No, they were just like, how many Wales Cups that guy won?
And
Roy's.
It's horrible, but it's literally
like
Kitsy.
this.
To be fair to Max,
good, mate.
Kitsy it was like, let's get our tops off. But everyone assumes that Max
What a
chloroformed
legend.
Kitsy
What a lovely
and
bloke.
then got him, woke him up, and was like, you get your top off
Mate,
now.
it's nuts though, eh? All these losers on the internet
it's
coming in,
aggressive,
commenting
mate.
and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, where were you when they were actually had their shirts off? Like, where are you actually going up to his face and saying it? You know what I mean?
Best prop in the world at the moment?
Oh, that's some question, mate.
I reckon Nika's actually pretty up. It might be up there as a loose head.
Who?
Abeladze?
Yeah, scrummaging wise.
Yeah,
just purely scrummaging wise, he'd be up there.
Yeah.
But that's a tough old question, mate.
Big Franz. He's pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, in terms of tight ends, mate, Franz
No,
Werber is he can just lock it down, mate. You know
Will
what I
you
mean?
try and catch up with him for a beer? Because you're obviously playing just before him.
Yeah.
Before Wales, South Africa, obviously the weekend double header.
I was,
Catch up with those boys for a beer, or they'll be back home.
Funny you say that, because obviously I play with Dafford Jenkins and Chris Tashunza, and I was like, oh, how the mighty have fallen, eh? You guys are the curtain raiser for our game.
I told you that name before.
You know? I was like, you guys suck, man. And I was like, you guys are going to go there and get battered by the Springboks, you know, and everyone's just going to be waiting around for the masterpiece to show that our game's going to be after.
Mate,
So,
that's if the Fijians turn up.
yeah, I know.
Wait, get it.
They're not the only team. We got to turn up too.
How funny is Daff, by the way?
Oh, he's so funny,
Bro,
bro. I got a lot of time.
He
for
split my head. We both went into.
Oh,
he like
yeah,
broke his
yeah.
nose with his. He like split my head with his face. Both went in.
Well, do you want a glass
And
of
he's
champagne?
just giving it large on the gas.
You sure?
He's lost it. He's like, Max, boy, you gotta come try this. I was just like, oh god,
Oh, he's
I'll
funny,
give you
man.
one.
wild, isn't he?
Being Welsh, how good are they? Do you think they can? I mean, because they're still young boys, though. David and
Yeah.
Chris. Do you think they can go up the next level?
I think yeah. There's a lot. I think Chris as an athlete, you know what I mean. Like if you were like, what should a rugby player look like? You know, Chris is probably that guy. Do you know what I mean? I think he's just got a Chris. I think what they both lack is what they both like kind of have. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Daph's not really an athlete, but he's just an
dog.
out and out grafter.
Dog.
You know what I mean? He's there in the trenches, right? But like you're not giving the ball to the guy 50 meters to run down on the sideline, right? Whereas Chris, like the opposite, like he just needs. I just think when Chris like gets a bit of mongrel, a bit of dog about him, you know what I mean? Like there won't be anything stopping that guy. But you know, it's like anything, right? If everyone had everything, do you know what I mean? Rugby wouldn't be as fun, you know what I mean? So I think that's what makes it unique.
Did you see the stat today that came out of Eben Etzebeth's total amount of caps? I think it was like 131 caps. Full Wales squad, 129 caps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he's got the same. More,
130.
he's got more caps
That's
than all
in the
of the
Welsh.
Welsh 15
that's nuts,
put together or something. So
Bloody
yeah, it's going to be. I think it could be a long old day for the Welsh.
Yeah, I know, because I was wondering how, obviously, the Springboks, how they would go, and they fielded a pretty strong side. So, good to see Malcolm Marks back. That guy's an animal, man. So,
absolute beast.
he obviously had a pretty tough time last year with the injury and that. So, he's pretty quality, and they'll relish having him back. And then, obviously, Detroit's captain. So.
Oh mate, Who are you most looking forward to from the Barbars that because obviously boyhood dream playing for the Barbars. Who are you most looking forward to playing with this weekend?
Actually, one of the funny things is like, I did say this before, but rugby is so funny that like I play against Sam Whitelock my whole career, right? Like Brumbies and Crusaders, Wallabies and All Blacks, and then his very last game you end up playing with him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I just think like Barbars is just so unique to. I just think like sport in the world. Like we're the only sport that does something like this. You know what I mean? And I just think it's unreal. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously playing with Benny Youngs and DC and Danny Kerr. I think it's also gonna probably be Shota Hori's last game as well.
Shota.
Yeah, Shota. So
at 15.
Is
that the
hooker?
15?
No, the hooker. The hooker.
Maybe really good player.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I think he's going to take up a coaching job at Panama after
played
it. So
Rebels.
Rebels. So
And that's his last game as well.
I think it's potentially going to be his last game too. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot to play for in our team there too. But it's kind of nuts. I just like I think back and think I didn't even know like Gail Fiku and Cameron Waukee, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's always the chance you play with the English boys, but like, sometimes the French boys, it's kind of cool to sort of meet them, you know what I mean, and get to know those guys.
I'm more intrigued to see what they're like on the piss.
I reckon
I bet they're very,
I reckon Waukee sends it. I reckon Waukee's about that life.
Smooth motherfuckers. Like between JJ and Gal Fiku in the centres, you know what I mean? They'll be having a smooth off, like who's more smooth, you know?
Mate, and then Johnny May's been actually very funny.
He's
digging in. He's digging in hard. He is going.
He's very interesting.
And he's trying to recruit everyone to is it Angulem, his team. He's he's trying to recruit all of us. So he's like the new face.
Tell him I'm looking for a back row job if he's.
Yeah, sweet. He said anyone. He's getting anyone there.
He literally said anyone, mate. So
he's on first name basis with the owner apparently. So
Right,
so that's it. So you've got a club sorted, and then you heading out to Japan after your next contract finishes?
Nah, I wish there's no market.
Dave Rennie's out there, Kobe. How many yen?
Yeah, mate. I'll be player coach. You coach a scrum, all good, mate.
Tried that one.
I'll get the next Japanese crop coming through there.
There we go. That's the sales pitch for all of the J1 League watching for a player coach. But sadly, that is all the time we've got left for this week. A huge thank you to Scott for coming in on a pretty heavy couple of days and more still to come. But really appreciate it for talking us through everything. And best of luck. Best of luck potentially we'll get you back in Australia? Getting back in. Come on,
back in Aussie.
Yeah. Joe Schmidt, if you're watching, I'll send you my number.
Yeah, Schmidt it in as they
We'll have it running maybe on a ticker at the bottom just for you. And thanks to Ryan and Max as always. And to all of you for listening and watching. And we will see you all next week.
More or nothing.